Welcome to the mystic Astrozen, where the stars don't just speak, they awaken something ancient within you. If you're here, it means you're ready, not just to hear a message, but to feel it in your bones. On this channel, we don't deliver predictions, we offer portals. Each video is a journey into the unseen, the symbolic, the soul-deep transformations aligned with your zodiac truth. And today, dear Scorpio, the universe has a message so powerful, so intimate, that it might just change how you see yourself, forever. July 3rd is not an ordinary date, it's a sacred threshold. And you are standing at the edge of something you can't quite name but absolutely need to feel. There's a shift coming, not outside, but within. So if you've been sensing a stirring you can't explain, if you've felt the weight of something ready to be released, or if you've been secretly waiting for a moment to say, "This is who I really am," then this message was made for you. Stay with us because what's coming next is not information, it's revelation. July 3rd, 2025 is not just another date on the calendar. It is a spiritual threshold, a cosmic turning point, a moment written in the stars specifically for Scorpio. This is not the kind of transformation that comes with fireworks or loud announcements. It's the quiet unraveling of layers you've worn for years, even lifetimes. It's a day when the mask begins to crack. Not because you failed, but because you're finally ready to breathe. Scorpio, you've long been a sign of mystery, intensity, and inner power, carrying both pain and passion with an unmatched resilience. But what if that very strength has turned into a prison? What if the armor that once protected you is now suffocating your true essence? On July 3rd, the universe opens a sacred doorway just for you. A rare alignment between Pluto, your ruling planet of death and rebirth, and Mars, the planet of will and action, delivers a jolt of awakening through your entire energetic field. This isn't just planetary noise. It's your personal revolution. You're being called to release the image, the performance, the survival tactics, not because they were wrong, but because they're no longer needed. You don't have to hide behind silence or control anymore. You don't have to wear emotional armor to feel safe. The stars are saying, you are safe to be seen. You are powerful when you're real. This moment isn't asking you to destroy who you've been. It's inviting you to remember who you were before the world told you who to be. Maybe that version of you is softer, more vulnerable, more emotional. Maybe that version has been buried under years of needing to prove strength. But now, the invitation is clear. Come home to yourself. Let July 3rd be the day you stop pretending you're okay when you're not. Let it be the day you speak what you've swallowed. Let it be the day you finally stop guarding your heart and start honoring it. Because what's waiting on the other side of this cosmic door is not chaos, it's clarity. Not loss, but liberation. Not destruction, but divine return. You're not falling apart, you're finally falling into place. So ask yourself, what truth inside me have I been hiding? And more importantly, am I brave enough to let it out? This is not about doing anything grand. It's about allowing. It's about standing in your own skin and saying, this is me, raw and real. On July 3rd, everything can change, not because the world demands it, but because your soul is finally ready. So don't ignore the stirring in your chest. Don't numb the ache for more. Let it rise. Let it guide you. This is your moment. This is your mirror. This is your cosmic invitation to step into your truth. Not as a version of who you think you should be, but as the living, breathing embodiment of who you've always been. And that, dear Scorpio, is your real power. As the sun rises on July 3rd, 2025, something far beyond what the eye can see is shifting in the skies and in your soul. The cosmic weather is not merely symbolic. It is an exact energetic current tuned to the unique frequency of your transformation, Scorpio. At At the heart of this shift is a rare and powerful alignment between Pluto, your ruling planet, and Mars, the ancient warrior of truth and action. Pluto, the great destroyer and rebuilder, does not play by surface rules. It excavates. It brings truth up from the shadows and forces the soul to face what's been hidden for too long. And Mars, fueled by fire and forward motion, refuses to sit still or play small. Together, this planetary dance creates an unstoppable force that urges you to act from your truth, even if your voice shakes, even if your knees tremble. On this day, the moon forms a challenging square to Saturn, intensifying the emotional pressure and possibly bringing a heavy wave of reflection or fatigue. But don't fear it. This heaviness isn't punishment, it's the weight of your own truth demanding attention. At the same time, Venus flows gracefully in a trine with Neptune, gently awakening your emotional and spiritual sensitivity, making it easier to tap into the softer side of your nature, the part of you that feels deeply, dreams wildly, and longs to be loved in your truth. The result? A cosmic cocktail of pressure and possibility. One moment you may feel like you're collapsing, the next, like you're flying. But through it all, the universe is crafting a perfect energetic environment for your rebirth. This isn't a breakdown. It's a breakthrough. And only Scorpio can handle this depth. Only Scorpio can walk into the fire and come out reborn. You may feel sudden waves of clarity or unexplainable emotions rise to the surface. You may find yourself remembering moments you thought were forgotten. You may even notice people, conversations, or dreams that stir something ancient within you. Pay attention. These are not coincidences. They are signs from the divine urging you to stop running from yourself. The planets are not trying to control you. They are mirroring what your soul already knows. July 3rd is not about external events. It's about inner alignment. You're being cosmically guided to release what no longer belongs in your energetic field. Old stories, outdated roles, false strength. And in doing so, step into a version of yourself that is more aligned, more magnetic, more alive. The sky is not asking you to change overnight. It is offering you the light to see what has always been inside. And once you see it, you can never unsee it. This is the day your soul stops whispering and starts roaring. Trust the pull. Trust the tension. Trust the stars. They are not your enemies. They are your allies, shaping the perfect storm for your sacred return. For so long, Scorpio, you've worn your armor like a second skin, thick, polished, impenetrable. It wasn't forged from arrogance or indifference, but from necessity. Life taught you early that love can be betrayal, that vulnerability can be a weapon in someone else's hands, and that survival sometimes means silence. So you learned to guard yourself with intensity. You became the observer in the room, the one who always knows more than they say, the one who anticipates exits before anyone else realizes there's danger. You became the one who never shows their full hand, who trusts sparingly, who controls the environment to avoid ever being at someone's mercy again. This isn't weakness, it's brilliance. But it's also exhausting. Because beneath that control lies a heart that wants to feel fully, to love without flinching, to be held without suspicion. And yet, each time something tender tried to rise, the armor clicked back into place. The world mistook your silence for coldness, your independence for pride, your depth for darkness. But the truth is, you were never trying to be mysterious, you were trying to be safe. The irony is brutal. The very tools that helped you survive are now the walls that keep you isolated. July 3rd brings the moment when the armor no longer fits. Not because you've become weaker, but because you're becoming whole. The universe is asking, who are you without the mask? Who are you without the need to manage every outcome, to foresee every betrayal, to carry every burden alone. This is not a call to collapse, it's a call to soften. It's a sacred opportunity to put down the sword and say, I'm tired of fighting myself. Because Scorpio, the war was never really with others. It was with the part of you that believes you must be invincible to be worthy. But invincibility is a myth. Humanity is your truth. And in that truth lies your magnetism, your healing, your deepest power. It takes courage to be unguarded in a world that taught you to be guarded. But courage has always been in your blood. So what if the strength you're being asked to embrace now is not the ability to endure more, but the willingness to receive more? Love, tenderness, truth, they're waiting on the other side of your walls. And no, they won't be perfect, but they will be real. And isn't that what you've always wanted? Not adoration for your image, but love for your soul. So let this day be the beginning of that return. Let the armor fall, not in bitterness, but in liberation. You're not losing yourself by dropping the shield. You're finally allowing the world to meet the real you. And trust me, that version of you is more powerful than any illusion you've ever crafted. On July 3rd, the universe is not asking you to work harder, fight longer, or prove more. It is simply inviting you to return to yourself, to come home to a truth that has been patiently waiting beneath all the layers you've worn. This isn't a demand. It's a gentle, powerful invitation. Be seen, be soft, be real. And yes, those words may unsettle something in you because you've learned to equate softness with danger, realness with exposure, and visibility with vulnerability. But this is not about putting your life in the hands of others. It's about finally placing your heart in your own. The cosmic forces on July 3rd are opening a sacred space where pretenses can fall without judgment and facades can dissolve without fear. It's a rare kind of clarity that floods in, not like a firestorm, but like a sunrise, quiet, undeniable, beautiful. This invitation isn't asking you to abandon your depth. It's asking you to express it, to stop hiding your intensity behind control, and to start letting it guide your truth. When Pluto, your ruler, joins Mars in this sacred alignment, it's a signal from the heavens that the time for hiding is over, that your greatest power now comes not from mystery, but from authenticity. Because Scorpio, the magnetism you've always carried, it doesn't stem from your silence, it stems from your soul. And the more you allow that soul to be felt, heard, and seen, the more you align with the purpose you were born to live. The world doesn't need a perfect version of you. It needs the one that breathes, the one that cries, the one that speaks raw truth even when it shakes, the one that knows how to walk through fire and still choose softness. This cosmic invitation is a chance to live without the need to calculate every move. It's permission to feel without guilt, to ask for help without shame, to stop being a fortress and start being a field, open, wild, alive. That doesn't mean everyone will understand you, but that was never the point. The point is that you understand yourself so completely, so honestly, that misunderstanding no longer feels like a threat. You are not here to be palatable. You are here to be powerful. But real power isn't found in performance, it's found in presence. It's found in the quiet courage to say, this is who I am today, even if that version of you is raw, healing, or in progress. So say yes to the invitation. Say yes to the version of yourself that longs to breathe without armor, to speak without censorship, to love without fear. Because on July 3rd, the universe isn't trying to change you, it's trying to reveal you. And what's being revealed isn't weakness. It's everything beautiful, divine, and unstoppable about who you truly are when you finally let yourself be free. Beneath all the layers, beneath the control, the mystery, and the fierce independence, there is a version of you that the world rarely sees. A younger self, an inner child, who once walked through life with wonder, softness, and wide-open trust, before the betrayals, before the disappointments, Before the pressure to be strong all the time, there was a pure, unguarded essence within you that simply wanted to love and be loved, to create, to feel, to explore without fear. And on July 3rd, as cosmic energy cracks open the hardened layers, that part of you will begin to stir again. This isn't regression, it's remembrance. It's not weakness, it's reunion. You're not going back to who you were before the pain. You're reclaiming the pieces of yourself that the pain forced you to abandon. Your inner child still lives within you, Scorpio, waiting to be welcomed back with open arms. That child doesn't care about being powerful or mysterious. That child wants connection, creativity, and truth. And as the armor falls, that voice grows louder. You may feel emotions rise unexpectedly. A lump in your throat, a sudden need to cry, a flash of memory from a time when you felt free or forgotten. Don't run from it. That's your truth returning to you. It's the sacred part of your soul that was silenced in order to survive, and now finally it feels safe enough to speak again. Listen. What did you once dream of doing before the world told you it was foolish? What emotions did you repress because they made you feel too exposed? What truth did you bury just to fit in, just to be safe? July 3rd is your opportunity to let that child come back into the light, not to take over, but to remind you of the joy, the honesty, and the magic that still lives in your bones. And no, it doesn't mean abandoning your strength, it means rooting it in something real. Authenticity isn't about always being raw or emotional. It's about no longer betraying your soul just to keep up an image. When you begin to honor that inner voice, the innocent one, the creative one, the vulnerable one, you unlock a kind of power that control could never give you. You begin to feel again. You begin to breathe again. You begin to live from a place of wholeness, not performance. This is your rebirth, not as someone new, but as someone fully integrated. The child who once dreamed and the adult who learned to survive are meeting now, not in conflict but in harmony. So let that be your intention for this day of awakening. To listen deeply, to feel completely, to protect your truth without burying it. Because the most powerful Scorpio is not the one who hides, it's the one who dares to shine with every broken, beautiful part of themselves fully alive. And that, dear Scorpio, is how your story begins again, with your truth in your hands and your childlike soul leading you home. There comes a moment in every soul's journey when the reflection in the mirror no longer feels true, when the image you've projected to the world, the persona you've carefully constructed, begins to crack under the weight of your own awakening. July 3rd is that moment for you, Scorpio. For years, maybe decades, you've perfected a role. The composed one, the powerful one, the mysterious figure who holds everything together, even in silence. You've built a life around being unshakable, untouchable, unreadable. People may admire your strength, your resilience, your edge. But admiration is not the same as connection, and somewhere deep inside, you've known that the version of you being loved is not the full you. It's a version you've curated for safety, for control, for survival. But now, the mirror is distorting. The surface image no longer satisfies the soul beneath it. You're not breaking down, you're breaking through. The persona is not a prison because it was false, but because it's incomplete. It may have served you once, it got you through pain, rejection, abandonment, but it's no longer aligned with who you're becoming. You are not here to play a role. You are here to live a truth. And that truth cannot be polished or managed. It must be felt, exposed, lived. That's why July 3rd may bring discomfort. You might feel raw, overly visible, unmasked. But that vulnerability is not danger. It's a signal that you are finally letting go of the illusion that your worth is tied to your performance. You are not powerful because you're unreadable. You are powerful because you're real. This cosmic mirror invites you to drop the act, not in rebellion but in return, to come back to your essence, to say, This is me without the script, without the costume, without the shield. And yes, some may be uncomfortable with your transformation. They may miss the old you, the version who made everyone else feel safe by never revealing too much. But your life is not a stage, Scorpio. It's a sacred unfolding. You don't owe anyone the performance of perfection. What you owe yourself is freedom. And freedom begins when the mirror shatters, and you no longer seek reflection, you seek revelation. You are not becoming someone new. You are releasing who you're not. And in that release, your truest self rises, not the shadow, not the mask, but the soul. So if on this day you feel emotional, exposed, uncertain, let that be confirmation. Let it be evidence that the truth is finally louder than the role. And when that happens, Scorpio, when the image breaks and the essence emerges, don't run from it. Step into it. Live it. Let the world see you not as the myth, but as the miracle. You are when you stop hiding and start living from your core. Rebirth doesn't arrive with fireworks, Scorpio. It often comes quietly. In the hush between endings and beginnings. In the moment you finally exhale after holding your breath for far too long. July 3rd is not the start of something new. It is the return to something ancient. Something sacred. Something that was always inside you but buried under years of protection and performance. This is not a transformation imposed on you by the outside world. It is a divine unfolding from within. A soul emerging from the depths with clarity, courage, and raw, undeniable truth. You are not evolving into someone else. You are shedding everything that is not aligned with your highest essence. Like the serpent that releases old skin or the phoenix rising from ashes, your rebirth requires release of patterns, roles, relationships, thoughts, fears, and even dreams that no longer belong to the version of you that is now awakening. And this release may not look like victory at first. It might look like tears, stillness, or silence. It might feel like confusion or disconnection. But underneath it all, something real is taking root. You. The you that is unafraid to be vulnerable. The you that chooses truth even when it's messy. The you that trusts your intuition over external approval. On this day, don't be surprised if you feel different in ways you can't explain. You might suddenly realize that you've outgrown the rooms you used to shrink yourself to fit inside. You might find that conversations, habits, or identities no longer resonate. You might feel drawn to new spaces, new truths, new expressions of who you are. Let it happen. This isn't a breakdown, it's a sacred rearrangement, and the universe, through the alignment of Pluto and Mars, is sending a clear message. You were never meant to stay hidden. You were born to rise not by force but by truth. Your soul is tired of being silent. Your light is tired of being dimmed. July 3rd marks the moment when you say yes, not to the world's version of success, but to your soul's definition of peace. And from that yes, everything changes. This rebirth won't demand you to be anyone else. It will finally allow you to be fully yourself. Expect to feel lighter. Expect to feel clearer. Expect to feel more honest, even if that honesty is tender. Because Scorpio, the real you, is magnetic beyond measure. Not when you're trying to impress, but when you're simply being. And as this new frequency anchors into your being, the world around you will begin to shift as well. People will meet you at your new depth. Opportunities will reflect your truth. Love will feel more nourishing, more aligned, more real. This is not the end of your transformation. It's the beginning of your becoming. You are no longer surviving. You are rising. And not just as a symbol of mystery, but as a living, breathing force of truth, power, and light. Welcome back, Scorpio. The world is finally ready for the real you. With all the energetic intensity surrounding July 3rd, you may feel overwhelmed, emotional, or deeply reflective. And that's exactly why anchoring yourself in a simple yet powerful spiritual practice will help you align with the cosmic invitation instead of resisting it. This is not about rituals for show or forcing a transformation. It's about opening a sacred space for truth to rise gently within you. Begin your day with stillness. Before you even reach for your phone or step into the world, place your hand on your heart, close your eyes and whisper to yourself, I am safe to return to who I truly am. Sit in silence for a few moments and allow your breath to deepen. Let your body know it doesn't need to hold tension anymore. From that quiet place, move into a gentle journaling practice. Ask yourself, what parts of me have I hidden to feel accepted? What truth within me is ready to be honored? What version of myself am I ready to release? Don't judge your answers, let them flow freely. If tears come, let them. They are a form of sacred release. Then write a letter, not to another person, but to your past self, your masked self, your armored self. Thank that version of you for surviving, for protecting you, for doing their best, and then lovingly say goodbye. When you're done, you can fold that letter and bury it beneath a tree, burn it in a safe space, or simply place it under a white candle as a symbol of transmutation. Light that candle in the evening and let its flame remind you that even the smallest light can dispel the deepest darkness. As you watch it flicker, repeat this affirmation out loud. I do not fear my truth. I am made of it. I am returning to myself now. For an added layer of sacred intention, use water throughout your day as a symbol of emotional cleansing. Take a long shower or a salt bath. Imagine the water carrying away every layer you no longer need. Shame, guilt, fear, performance. Let it wash over you like a cosmic reset. And before you sleep, place your hands over your chest once more and whisper, thank you, soul, for speaking. I'm finally ready to listen. This practice doesn't require perfection. You don't need candles, crystals, or elaborate rituals to make it real. All you need is willingness, the courage to be present with yourself as you truly are. Because that presence is the portal. That presence is the prayer. July 3rd is sacred not because the stars say so, but because your soul has chosen it as the day to be fully alive, fully honest, and fully home. So allow these small moments of connection to become your anchor. You don't need to transform in one day, you only need to open the door. And Scorpio, once you open that door, everything you've been seeking will finally start finding you. You've come so far, Scorpio, and July 3rd is not the end of your journey, it's the sacred threshold of your becoming. You are not stepping into a new role or chasing a new identity. You are arriving. You are finally standing in the full truth of who you are, without apology, without armor, without performance. And that is the most powerful thing you could ever do. The cosmos is not asking you to hustle, prove, or pretend. It's inviting you to rest in the reality of your soul. You've been the mystery, the protector, the survivor, the one who held space for everyone else while silently carrying your own weight. You've endured storms that others never even saw. But now, something deeper is being asked of you. Not to fight harder, but to open wider. To let love in where you once only let control rule. To let peace in where you once only trusted silence. To let truth in where performance used to live. You are not falling apart, you are falling into place. Your power is no longer in how much you can endure, but in how deeply you can embody your truth without needing to hide it. The softening is not your undoing. It is your homecoming. And yes, there will be people who don't recognize this version of you. Let them go. Not in anger, but in reverence. They were there for who you were. Now you must be there for who you're becoming. Your soul is speaking louder than ever before. The universe has conspired to bring you to this exact moment because you are ready. Not perfect, not fully healed, but ready. Ready to let go of the false strength and walk into real wholeness. Ready to stop seeking validation and start trusting your inner voice. Ready to stop surviving and start living. You are no longer the one standing in the shadows. You are the light the shadows have been waiting for. So claim your place, speak your truth, let your tears be sacred. Let your laughter be loud. Let your healing be messy. Let your love be wild. This is your becoming, not as someone new, but as someone whole. And you don't need anyone's permission to rise. You already have the universe's. So as this day unfolds, remember, you are not broken. You are breaking free. You are not hiding. You are emerging. You are not pretending. You are becoming. Let July 3rd be the day you stopped shrinking and started expanding. Let it be the day you walked out of the story that was written in fear and stepped into the one crafted by your soul. You have waited lifetimes for this. And now, it is here. Walk through the door, Scorpio. The real you is waiting on the other side. And the world is ready to receive all of you, raw, radiant, powerful, and finally free. And so, Scorpio, the question remains. When the armor falls and the mirror breaks, will you finally see yourself? Not as the world has shaped you, but as the stars have designed you. July 3rd is not just about cosmic alignment. It's your soul, stepping forward to take the lead. And what happens after that? Well, the most powerful part of your transformation hasn't even begun yet. But don't worry, we'll be here for it. Because at the Mystic Astrozen, your evolution is our mission. If this message resonated, don't just watch, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment, and let the universe know. I'm ready. Your next chapter begins not when the world notices, but when you finally do. And trust us, the universe is just getting started.